that I had to be put back from the 5th grade into the 4th grade, and it was best for me. And Mama only had a 3rd grade education, but she did not realize the negative impact that was going to have on me, and they convinced her that they were doing it for my own good. But my mother continued to say to me that you're special, and she instilled in us to believe in ourselves. My mother adopted 7 kids altogether. She never had any children of her own, and she raised us single-handedly. And so she instructed us to believe in ourselves, to always have good manners. I say yes ma'am and no ma'am to people even today. And she taught us the value of working hard for what you want and never giving up. You've got to be relentless. And she was a relentless, unstoppable person. And I feel that I took that quality from her. She passed 2 years ago from breast cancer. And at this point in my life, not only do I have a goal of motivating and inspiring youth and training and developing other speakers, but to raise millions of dollars for breast cancer research in the honor of my mother.
That is great. She really left a big contribution to society with you and all your brothers and sisters, I'm sure. You also have an incredible way of accepting any kind of challenge that is put in front of your path, you know, good, bad, indifferent. You take those challenges and just face them head on. And where does that come from?
I read something that I think is very true about life, and it said that in life you're either in a problem, or you just left one, or you're headed toward one. So, you got to handle it. No, Viktor Frankl calls it unavoidable suffering, that it's out here in life. And so life is full of pain. So you've got to deal with it as it comes. Charles Udall said, in life you will always be faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities, brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges. And so whenever something happens to me, I see it as a God-ordained opportunity, and I've got to find it. I've got to decode it and find the secret there that's there to bless me, to empower me. It's just challenging my wits and my imagination to figure out how to deal with it, because for every problem there is a solution. For every challenge there is a character-building experience, and all of us have had those character-building experiences,
and we'll
continue. Yes, that's a part of the game called life.
So if you had to tell somebody, I mean, basically you just said it, but how does one develop that? Because some people just run. I mean,
well, you have one or two choices, and I was at a crucial point in my life because I used to run. I think that people operate in the area of fight, flight, or work it out. And I used to fight and wasn't looking for a way to work it out. I just fought. I was angry. And then I used to run because I don't like confrontation. And then I decided to dig in my heels to work it out, to figure this thing out, because I got tired of life chasing me. I talk about in one of my speeches about a guy one day, every day he went home, and I used to be with this guy coming from school. A dog would chase us on the way home from school, and we would run. And one day, I just got tired of this dog chasing me, and he did too. I said, hey man, we're going to go around that same area, down that same sidewalk, and when this dog come out, we're going to have a rock, we're going to bust him in the head. I'm just tired of this dog chasing me. So we did that. When the dog came, boy, he started running at us, and we stopped and we waited on him. And when he got within just about 2 feet of us, he started barking, and the dog had no teeth. Okay, so he couldn't even bite us if he wanted to. So we were running from a toothless dog, a gum dog. All he could do was just gum us. and I think many of us in life, we were running from a lot of stuff, and we never even stopped to turn around and look and say, hey, I mean, what can it really do to me? What's going to happen if I make this decision? Will I die? What if I ask this person for this business and they say no? Will they just say no, or will they say no and knock me in the mouth? I mean, that we blow things out of perspective. And I say that you've got to take a stand in life. There's no saying stand up for what you believe in, because you can fall for anything. And when you stand up for life and stand up to life, you become an active force in your life, and you discover some powers and abilities you have that you don't even know that you have. But you've got to be willing to take a stand.
That's true. That's very, very true. And I don't know why so many of us are afraid at times to go to that possibility.
Well, you know, in school we're taught reading, writing, and arithmetic. They don't teach us taking on responsibility. They don't teach us the value of developing relationships. They don't teach us how to be relentless and resilient. We are not encouraged to experiment. To fail in school is a bad thing. 8 out of 10 millionaires have been financially bankrupt. So part of the process I think that we need to do, including in our educational process, is one, teach people how to fail. Make it okay to fail in our culture, that it's okay if things don't work out. You've got to be willing to experiment with life. I have one of the things I say in my workshops, anything that's worth doing is worth doing badly. Now, it's worth doing right if you know how to do it, but if you don't know how to do it, it's worth doing badly until you get it right.